Who says zombies aren't funny? Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 zombie comedy movies. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at zombie comedy films and ranking them based on their sense of humor and overall quality. We're only including movies that are primarily comedies, so serious zombie movies with the odd comic relief will not be included. Number 10. Cooties. Cooties is certainly an original movie.
I'll sneak around the school where there aren't any kids.
Oh, you sneak around, huh?
It's about a group of elementary school teachers and staff members, played by Elijah Wood, Rainn Wilson, and Jack McBrayer, among others, as they fight their way through a Cooties-infested school. Cooties, in this case, are very real, and they turn the kids into bloodthirsty savages.
We've all wanted to do that to Vice Principal Sims, okay? I know I have.
The concept of adults fighting and killing children may be a little too difficult for some to handle, and the violence at hand may be a little too stomach-churning for some. But the movie's unique premise, funny social commentary, and star-studded cast make it an enjoyable watch. Just don't expect high art.
Take me to Subway sometime!
Number 9. Boy Eats Girl. Boy Eats Girl is a little-known Irish zom-com about a love-struck boy who comes back from the dead to find himself very, very hungry.
Well, you're not gonna puke, are you?
No. I'm just hungry, that's all.
While the movie is a bit low budget, it makes for a quick and enjoyable viewing in its brief 80-minute runtime. The movie is filled with gore, which is sure to please any serious zombie fan, and it contains a relatable story about teenage love and infatuation.
I didn't think you'd be fooled by his bullshit. He doesn't deserve you, Jess.
It may be a little derivative of the zombie comedies that came before it, but Boy Eats Girl is still a very funny and gory movie that fans of the genre should check out.
My teacher's hat comes off, but my listening hat is always on.
Number 8. Cockneys vs. Zombies. The British sure know how to make a killer zombie comedy.
Zombies.
Are you sure?
Cockneys vs. Zombies is a hilarious movie about a group of Cockney kids who traverse zombie-filled London to rescue a group of elderly retirees from their retirement home. The flick is filled with cartoonish gore, and it is a brilliant mix of social commentary and ridiculous situations, such as the retirees mowing down zombies with machine guns while dropping loads of F-bombs.
And you can f*** off and all.
It basically plays as a 90-minute long sketch, but there's nothing wrong with that when the sketch is so much fun in the first place. Number 7. Juan of the Dead, also known as Juan de los Muertos. Juan of the Dead is a Spanish-Cuban comedy about Juan, a lazy 40-year-old man who finds himself in the midst of a violent outbreak. Realizing he can take advantage of the situation, Juan starts a zombie killing business, killing loved ones for a fee. Juan of the Dead undoubtedly works as a silly zombie comedy, but it's even better as a satire of Cuban politics. Juan and his friends believe that zombies are capitalist dissidents, and the movie milks much of its humor from the satirical concept. Regardless of how you read it, the movie is absolutely hilarious. Number 6. Fido. Seemingly borrowing its premise from a joke in Shaun of the Dead, this Canadian gem's 1950s world sees zombies serving in menial jobs like delivering papers, helping children cross the street, and mowing lawns.
Isn't it wonderful? Now we're not the only ones on the street without one.
Some people even keep the dark-skinned zombies as help around the house, and the movie is not shy about pointing out its obvious allegory. However, it doesn't bash us over the head with its message.
You look great, boy.
Instead, the movie's more interested in squeezing the most humor it can from its silly premise while providing enough blood to satiate the gorehounds. Fido has something for everyone.
Promise not to eat Mom, right?
Number 5. The Return of the Living Dead.
The pain.
What about the pain?
Like most zombie movies, The Return of the Living Dead centers around a group of humans trying to survive a zombie outbreak. However, unlike most zombie movies, they also have to figure out how the hell zombies work, as zombie lore has seemingly lied to them. The movie makes the most of its self-referential humor, including a scene where characters discuss the rules of zombies and start freaking out when a specific one isn't properly responding to the rules. The movie contains some of the most memorable scenes in the genre, and it's just as funny and relevant today as it was in 1985. Number 4. Warm Bodies. This is one of the most original movies in the zombie comedy genre. Warm Bodies tells the story of a zombie who befriends and falls in love with a human whose father is the leader of the human resistance. While the movie contains your typical social commentary, it also tells its story through the point of view of a humanized zombie.
I'd be very grateful for some food.
Also, unlike most zombie comedies, the movie isn't so much about the zombies themselves as it is a romantic story about young love and its limiting boundaries. It's equal parts cute and hilarious, and it makes for a great time at the movies.
Oh my God, is that him?
Number 3. Braindead, also known as Dead Alive. Just remember, this is from the man who would eventually give us the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Braindead was one of Peter Jackson's first movies, and it tells the story of a woman who infects a small town after being bitten by a rabid rat monkey. Braindead is undoubtedly one of the most well-known gore movies of all time, as many of its scenes, including the famous lawnmower bloodbath, have become iconic staples of the schlocky B-movie genre.
Party's over.
It is gross and extremely tasteless, but its sheer carefree attitude, ridiculous story, and buckets of blood and guts make Braindead a classic of the genre.
I kick ass for the Lord!
Number 2. Zombieland. You'd be hard-pressed to find a more fun zombie comedy.
Don't swing, don't swing! Swing!
Zombieland stars an A-list cast as a group of characters that must resolve their many, many differences, band together, and survive in a post-apocalyptic zombie world. And maybe find a Twinkie along the way.
I don't believe in it. You ever see a lion limber up before it takes down a gazelle?
Zombieland doesn't really do anything new with the genre, but its sheer sense of goofy fun, its referential take on the zombie genre, and its stellar cast make it a classic. The Bill Murray scene alone places Zombieland in the pantheon of the all-time great zombie comedies.
God damn it, Bill fucking Murray! I had to get that out.
It's ridiculous, but it's also a ton of fun. Number 1. Shaun of the Dead. When it comes to zombie comedies, there's simply no competing with Shaun of the Dead. Edgar Wright's major studio debut, Shaun is filled with Wright's signature layered dialogue, frantic editing, callbacks, and foreshadowing.
And I'm not going to bombard you with cliches, but what I will say is this.
It's not only extremely well-directed, written, and acted, it also contains some brilliant social commentary on British society.
Although no one official is prepared to comment, religious groups are calling it Judgment Day. There's panic on the streets of London, as an increasing number of reports of serious attacks on people who are literally being eaten alive.
As a bonus, it also uses the zombies as a platform to tell a story about growing up, shouldering responsibilities, and refusing to shamble through life like a zombie. There's more to life than stumbling your way to the pub every night, and Shaun of the Dead wants you to know it.
Mom! I'm coming! Mom!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.